Now I want to talk to you a little bit about where the channel is. And as the video already told you, I think Anna said very nicely, I think a part of our job in this conference is to promote the success and the opportunities for each of you. So I want to give you a very simple message. When you're going to your shareholders, or you're going to your banks, and you're asking for money, they'll all say to you, why should we invest in your business? What's your future? I was with one of the top tech companies a few weeks ago, and they said to me, the traditional channel. A lot of people describe you as a traditional channel. But I said to them, the traditional channel's growing faster than you are. What gives you the right to call them traditional? The channel's doing very well. And the next 5 to 10 minutes of this presentation, I aim to convince you of how rich your opportunities are. So when you go to your shareholders and your investors, there's a very simple slide. You just need to show them this slide. At the end of 2018, around the world, 16.7 billion devices were connected to the internet. It's a big number. That's roughly over 2 devices per person. And we are predicting the rise of 5G and the availability of Wi-Fi 6 is going to lead to those number of devices doubling by 2023. So there'll be 32 billion devices connected to the internet. Now, they might be cars, they might be smartphones, they might be cameras, they might be robots, vacuum cleaners, lawnmowers, obviously PCs and other technology products. Each of those products needs to be sold and needs to be maintained and needs to be delivered perhaps as a service. That's your job. Very simple core mission, to deliver these devices that connect to the internet and maintain them. As that market doubles, if you go down that journey with the industry, you're going to do very well, I promise you. But also equally, as we see a doubling of devices over the next 5 years, just think about the amount of data that creates. And all of that data needs to be managed, stored, backed up, disaster recovery procedures in place, and security in place. So first selling the devices and then managing all the data should be enough to convince any investor that the next 5 years in your business will be very, very strong. We promise you it will be. Have confidence, invest, take some bets. The industry is coming in our direction. More and more industries, whether transportation or healthcare or education or finance, are becoming technology companies. They need our goods. Now, how's the industry itself doing? Well, we thought we'd look at the key categories inside the industry and share with you the latest data. So this data is for the first 3 quarters of the year, looking at the global performance and the performance in Asia. First of all, networking remains strong, particularly wireless. Wireless networks are needed everywhere, and the demands of the users go up and up and up in terms of bandwidth and latency. So networks need to be replaced and upgraded. 5% global growth, 4% growth in Asia. However, 2018 was a very strong year for the server market. That's changed in 2019. It's down 6% so far on a global basis and 5% in Asia. And the Chinese server market is particularly dragging these numbers down. There's been a real slowdown in tier 1 hyperscale spending on servers in China. We have to accept that some of the cause for this is the shift from on-premise computing to cloud computing has impacted this. And the hyperscalers made massive investments in 2018. They've slowed those investments in 2019, and we've seen the impact on the server market. there is a shift. There is still a need, obviously, for hybrid and multi-cloud computing, and I'll come back to that point. But right now, we are seeing an impact. Storage, on the other hand, because the amount of data is exploding, continues to be a healthy market, with Asia outgrowing the rest of the world at 5%. The smartphone market has plateaued. There is a lack of innovation currently. All phones look the same. And probably there's a pause of 5G, waiting for 5G, which is coming very soon in South Korea, in Japan and China, and then everywhere else, which should give a new round of replacement cycles. There's also some interesting form factors coming very soon, and I think you'll see some of those on stage today to give new life to the smartphone market. The PC market, down 2% globally in units, down 3%, that's all PCs. But the commercial PC market has been growing, while the consumer PC market has slowed significantly. There are pockets of PC market in the consumer space that are strong. Any of you who are kids, you all know what they want for their next present is a gaming PC. It's really hot. But commercial PCs are strong. We're seeing adoption, we're seeing prices rise, we're seeing premium thin and light notebooks become particularly popular. And PCs that used to be just a tool to get the job done are increasingly an HR issue. Your ability to attract good employees partly depends on what computers you give them to use. But there are two hotspots in the industry today. The public cloud, which is growing 38% around the world and 52% across Asia. There's no question that digital transformation is driving public cloud adoption. Vendors, customers using a mix. AWS, Microsoft are very much leading that. Google trying to catch up, and Alibaba doing very well in China, struggling to internationalize outside of China, but certainly on that journey. Everything to do with public cloud consulting, migration, lift and shift is hot. You need to have that as part of your go-to-market model. But the other area that's particularly hot is security. Asia has underinvested in security, but is just beginning to catch up and wake up to all the risks that are in place in the security world.